Good evening, boys and girls and parents. Next week in social studies, we will be talking about the American Indians. And as a third grader, you will be responsible for locating the regions where American Indians settled in North America. You will need to know where the Arctic, the Northwest, Southwest, Plains, Northeast, and Southeast regions are located. Okay? And a region is just the area, okay? A large area of land that is different from other areas, okay? You will also have to compare and contrast how American Indians were similar and different in each region, and compare and contrast how they use their environment to get their food, clothing, and shelter. Okay, their shelter is a type of home they lived in. Then you will also be responsible for discussing how American Indians continue to contribute to American life. Okay, contribute, give something positive to help make something happen. Okay. Also, for geography in third grade, you will need to be able to describe how physical systems affect human systems. What do I mean by that? Physical systems. We're talking about natural changes, for example, weather, the climate, and how they shape and change the Earth's surface. Physical systems, the communities of plants and animals, and how they depend on one another for survival. Human systems includes people, ideas, and goods. Movement is how things move from place to place. Okay, this can be movement of people, their ideas, and their beliefs in the goods that they have. So, how do people shape the world in which we live? Okay, in this case, we're talking about Indians. So, we have to be able to explain why American Indian groups lived in the areas they did. Okay, and put emphasis on why some developed permanent villages and others did not. Okay, you will be taking a social studies test on the American Indians, and you will have to locate the regions where they live. Here's an example right here. You will need to know that the Northeast Indians lived here, Southeast Indians, excuse me, lived here. The Plains Indians that hunted the buffalo lived here. The Southwest Indians that lived in the Pueblo, the mud houses, the adobe houses, lived here. And the Indians that lived in the longhouses, okay, the Wickams, the Chickees, the Northwest Indians lived here. And then, of course, up here at the North Pole, the Arctic area, the Arctic Indians lived here, the Inuit Indians. Okay, so on a test, you will have to come over here. You will be given a map, physical map, and you will have to locate by the Roman numerals, the letters of the alphabet, what represents X. And you will drag and drop over here your slide. So X is the Arctic area. Okay. W. Okay, I'm trying to move my slides. Okay, wait a minute. My slides don't want to move. Okay, there we go. Okay. W. W is the Northwest Indians. Okay. Y is the Southeast Indians, and Z is the Northeast. Okay. So you will be responsible for knowing where these areas are located. Okay. And you will have to answer this question: which statement is true? Use the map. Place the circle around the correct statement. The Southwest Indians lived in Region 1. That is false. The Plains Indians lived in Region 3. That is correct. So the circle will go up here. Okay. That's where you would put that circle right there. And you can make it smaller so that it covers that area like that. Let's move this over here. Let's see. There. Okay. Day 2, you will watch a video about the Arctic Indians. Okay. Okay. You do need to know that the Arctic Indians, the type of food that they ate, the clothing, and the shelter that they lived in. Okay. And one type of Arctic Indians are called the Inuit Indians. Okay. You will be able to use your notes, and these are your notes here. So when we look up the Inuit Indians, we can see here what they ate. Let me see if I can make that bigger, and where they lived and what they wore for clothing. Blow that up. Okay, so the Arctic Indians, they ate seal, caribou, which is a type of reindeer, and whales. Shelter was an igloo. Clothing they wore animal skins made out of seal and fur, and the environment was cold and icy. Okay, so this is the activity that you have to do, the task. I will not be able to help you with this because you will be allowed to use your notes, but you're going to put your name. And what I'm doing is I'm making a slideshow presentation for you. Okay. But you have to compare and contrast each Indian tribe by their food, what they ate, their clothing, and their shelter. You would do this for 6 different tribes. So this is something that I have for you to do. Okay, this is an American Indians project that you're going to do. You're going to type your name here. Okay, and you're going to use the search button in the Google. You're going to use the search button to look up an image. Okay, and it's telling you how to do it here. Okay, if you make a mistake, you hit this back button to undo. Okay, you want to add text because you're going to be writing some sentences about the different tribes. You add a text box by clicking on that T right there. Okay, and then to change the font, the style of the lettering, that's the font. You would click here. To change the size, you would click here. To change the color, you would click over here. Now, in order for you to insert a picture, you want to click on Insert, click on Image, and then search the web. Okay, and you would type in keywords. Okay, now you can use your notes here. You can use this, and I also will be giving you something like this as well, some different passages about the early American Indians. Okay, so this is a passage that talks about the Arctic Indians and what kind of food, shelter, and clothing they live in. And then there's some comprehension questions as well. Okay, the Northwest Indians, same thing, some information and some questions to answer. Southwest Indians, comprehension passage and questions. Northeast, Southeast. Okay, so I'm going to model what you're going to do here. I'm just going to do one. But let's say, for example, you're going to type your name here. So we type the name in there. Type my name, Miss Griffin. Okay. And the directions tell you right here, insert a picture of the Arctic Indians here. Type of fact you learned about the Arctic Indians here. Well, I need to read something first. Okay. The Arctic Indians were the Arctic people were the last to arrive in North America. They settled in the frozen tundra, a treeless cold area of the far north in places such as Alaska and Canada. Okay, originally they were called Eskimos. Their official name was the Inuit, meaning the people. Okay, the Aleut and the Yupik nations or groups also lived in this region, and they were the Arctic Indians. Okay, since building supplies were difficult to find in the frozen tundra, the Inuit created their winter homes from snow and ice. And we know that these homes were called igloos. Okay, during the short summer seasons, temporary homes were made from animal skins stretched across driftwood or whalebones. Since plants were difficult to grow in the frozen tundra, the Inuit people's main food was meat. They hunted animals such as caribou, seal, walrus, whale, fox, and rabbit. Their diet also consisted of fish and wild berries during the summer months. After a successful hunt, special rituals were performed to honor the animal spirit, okay, a special ceremony. Every part of the animal was used within the Inuit community. The clothing of the Inuit was made from caribou and seal skin. Each item of clothing was lined with fur from polar bears, rabbits, and foxes. Big jackets called anoraks helped keep the Inuit people warm during the coldest months of the year. The Inuit people invented many things to make their lives easier in the frozen tundra. Okay, several of these inventions, such as the snowshoes and snow goggles, continue to be used today. Okay, so now I read that information, so now I can come over here and I can insert a picture of the Arctic Indians. So I'm going to come up here to click on image, click on search the web, a little box pops up, and I'm going to type, they want me to insert a picture of the Arctic Indians. So Arctic Indians, that's what I would type. Click it and see what picture comes up. Okay, Arctic Indian, we got some pictures here. Okay, so I will click on this one. I'm going to click it, and you see how this little box pops up? You got one picture selected, and you click insert. Okay, there it is. It's loading up. Okay, and you drag it over here. Okay, I'm not sure where that picture went. Let's see. There it is. Okay, so there's the picture. Okay, then it says type of fact you learned about the Arctic Indians here. So you click in it. You want to delete all of that information out of there. Okay, the text box is still there, so now you can type, what did I learn about Arctic Indians? Okay, Arctic Indians live in the cold tundra. Live in the tundra. Live in the tundra. A cold, treeless, without trees area. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to type a sentence about the food that they eat and a picture, put a picture in there, the shelter that they live in, and write a sentence about it, and then the clothing that they wore. Okay. So I can use my notes to help me. Okay. I like using this. So I'm going to, I'm looking for a picture of their food in the shelter. Where the shelter I know is an igloo. So I can come over here and click on the text box, click on insert image, search the web, and I want a picture of an igloo. Okay, there's a picture of an igloo. Pick anything you want to use. Okay, so I'm going to click on this one, insert. Okay, the picture, drag the picture down to where it needs to go, right there. And I'm going to get a picture of food that they ate. Okay, and it says over here, the Inuit people's main food was meat. They hunted animals such as caribou, seal, walrus, whale, fox, and rabbit. They also ate fish and wild berries. Okay, so I'm going to look up caribou. Okay, it looked like they ate polar bear too, but I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to click on the text, the image box, click search the web, and I'm going to type caribou. Caribou. Okay, there it is. Insert it. Looks like a reindeer. It's in the reindeer family. Okay. Drag the picture over here. Okay. And now I need a picture of their clothing. So I'll come back over here. The clothing of the Inuit was made from caribou and seal skin. Each item of clothing was lined with fur from polar bears, rabbits, and foxes. Big jackets called anoraks help keep the Inuits warm. So I'm gonna look at the chart too, because I can pick the anorak, but let's look at the chart. Okay, let me blow it up. See what they wore. Arctic Indians, fur, animal skins, seal animal skins. So I'm going to type that in there and see what comes up. Okay, and hit the image, search the web, and let's just see what comes up. Inuit clothes. Okay, so something comes up. Okay, there go the snowshoes that they mentioned. Okay, I'm going to put that, I'm going to use that instead. Put that up there. Oh, it's not inserted. Click it. Oh, there it is. It did insert. Okay. Now I'm going to write my sentences and then I'm going to stop because you should be able to do this. Okay. So type a sentence. I'm going to type the Arctic Indians ate caribou. One food that the one food that the Inuit, one food that the Arctic Indians ate was caribou. Okay, capital letter, period at the end. Now the shelter. Okay, Arctic Indians lived in snow houses called igloos. Period. Okay, and then here, those are called snowshoes. Okay, I can say Arctic Indians made snowshoes. Okay, I'm gonna type that sentence there. Capital letter, Arctic Indians wore snow shoes. Okay, so that's what you'll have to do. You'll come down here and you'll do the same thing for the Northwest Indians. Okay, one fact that you learn, and then you'll tell me about the food, shelter, clothing. Okay, the Southwest, same thing. Do the same thing for the Plains, same thing for the Northeast, and the same thing for the Southeast Indians. Now you're able to use your notes. Okay, these are your notes, and I'm also going to give you these notes. So you have your research to help you. Everybody should make an A. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen.